Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Lowell. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the government moving to effectively address the issue of school repairs in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew. A contract was awarded this morning, and repairs are expected to begin immediately. Natalia Hall has more.
Diamond Consultants was awarded a contract to carry out repairs at all of the public schools on Grand Bahama that were damaged by Hurricane Matthew. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, and company representative Sean Farrington were on hand for the contract signing.
As of tomorrow, most of our contractors will be in a position where they will be able to start the process getting the schools repaired from Sweetensky to West End. On behalf of the government, I'd like to thank the staff as well as the parents for their patience. It is a process, it's a scientific approach to generate a scope of work in order for us to do the job properly.
Diamond Consultants was responsible for the scope of works at all of the institutions. Minister Darville says this technical assessment was indeed essential.
We have to coordinate the work because you cannot have aggressive work going on while the kids are in school. So the bulk of the work will be done after school and mainly on the weekends, but I anticipate it'll be very rapid to bring the degree of normalcy that is absolutely necessary to create the right environment for our kids to learn.
The Martintown Primary School and the 8 Mile Rock High School are just two of the schools on the agenda for extensive repairs. Classes were interrupted this week at the 8 Mile Rock High School after teachers sat out of the classrooms protesting the delay in repairs. Minister Darville, a trained engineer, visited both schools on Wednesday to assess the situation. He also met with the principals and teachers to explain the reason for the delay, and he says he's pleased to report that contractors are now on site.
So I'm familiar with the schools. I know the challenges at the schools. Specifically the 8 Mile Rock School, there was a little bit of a disagreement as far as the extent of the work, and principal reached out to myself as well as Mr. Farrington for us to sit at the table to begin to work out a compromise as it relates to the gymnasium as well as the school. And I believe that is going quite well, and we should not have any more hiccups going forward.
Repair work at the Martintown Primary and the 8 Mile Rock High School will be funded by the Freeport Container Port. Minister Darville applauds his public-private sector partnership.
It is important for me to point out that some of the reports that are going out there as if the government is holding the $100,000 for 8 Mile Rock High as well as $100,000 for Martintown. That's not so. The container port, we've been working very closely together, and they've indicated the minute as the contract was signed, the mobilization sum would be sent to them and they will release the money and until the whole contract is completed.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, while that contract was being signed at the Ministry of Grand Bahama over at the 8 Mile Rock High School, parents were leading a protest calling for answers on repairs at the school as well as an update on classes. Parent Verne Grant says that their children are suffering under such conditions.
We need to put some fire under the powers that be, because we don't know if it is NEMA, we don't know if it is the Ministry of Education. All we know is we've been told that there is going to be contributions to the school, all of the schools in Western District. We have not seen any kind of improvements to the school, and we do not know if these contributions are pending. We don't know if the contributions have been released. We don't know anything.
Well, another parent, Keisha Mackey, says that she was disappointed that more parents did not show up to fight for their children.
We're not here fighting for just ourselves. We're fighting for the kids. We expect more parents to be out in the 8 Mile community, knowing that this is the largest community in the Bahamas. So we should have had more parents on this corner. 8 Mile Rock parents, come out and support.
In 77, we had to do it to get a new road that you're standing on right now. The children are not ignorant. They know what's happening. They too know that their education is vital. And some of them, you know, what are we going to do? We have an economy that is already poor. And then you're going to have uneducated children? Come on, man. Mr. Fitzgerald or Mr. Russell at NEMA, listen, if your kids were here, what would you do?
Now, following that protest, the Minister for Grand Bahama met with the stakeholders to address the concerns related to the timeline involved in repairs at the 8 Mile Rock High School. Megan Shepard was there.
Various stakeholders meeting at the 8 Mile Rock High School Thursday morning for hours, discussing solutions to their many vexing issues. Following the closed meeting, which included Ministry of Education officials, PTA executives, and the school's principal, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, spoke to the media to clear up the $100,000 question. What is the holdup with school repairs following the donation by the Freeport Container Port?
At no particular time did the government have access to the funding. Once the contract was signed and the requirements of the contract were satisfactory to the Hutchison Group of Company, they would have mobilized the contractors. And so it is Hutchison who is responsible for mobilizing and paying the contractors, and this particular gift from them is being controlled by that corporation. We realize that there's some additional work that needs to be done at the school, and Mr. Farrington is now scoping those works, and that additional funding will be coming from NEMA, which is under the government's control.
District Superintendent Mary Cooper says that she is pleased with the results of the meeting and is confident that education will commence smoothly at the institution. She commends the school's principal and staff for their commitment during this time.
We will come up with some strategies and plans for the way forward in order to make sure that our children continue to come to school and ensure that they are receiving quality education until we are back up and running after all the repairs have been done.
Principal Ivan Butler also pleased with the meeting. He says he wants to assure parents that the school is committed to providing quality education in a safe environment.
They will get their full classes. We may have to adjust, we will adjust our schedule in order to accommodate the work that will be taking place on the campus. It is very important that parents know that we are, the Blue Jay family is in this together.
President of the Parent Teacher Association, Kevin Ferguson Sr., says he is satisfied with the outcome of the meeting as well.
Everything is quite understandable for now, and it's a start that we're headed in the right direction, and hopefully that sooner than later we'll have better results, and and everybody else will be quite satisfied with what's going on. But I have confidence in them now that I heard it from the horse's mouth, as they would say, that I could hold their feet to the fire, and then I could go back to my parents at the PTA board and let them know that this is what is going on and this is how it's going to be.
School was dismissed at 12:30 p.m. to allow contractors to continue work on the school. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.